Hello, friends. Welcome to your beginning of October reading for Leo. I was just distracted. There's a lot of hummingbirds that come around here, and this one has been visiting my window a lot today. Must know that I'm doing readings. Anyway, Leo, I hope that you are doing well, and we're going to do a basic reading here on YouTube, and then I invite you to watch the extended, where we'll just pull some clarifiers and additional oracle, and that will be posted over on Patreon. So, looks like they all came out in one clump. Anyways, with the Patreon, I would like to make that as accessible as possible, so I will have a few different options there. I want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. So there will be a few different levels so that, if people would like to support me more monetarily, there will be those options. But essentially it'll be the same, gosh, I don't have words. What's going on, Leo? Are you feeling tongue-tied too? That wasn't happening in the other videos that I was doing. Anyways, I don't need a spiel for that. You guys understand Patreon. I want it to be accessible. We got that. Okay, so what do we have? We have the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands, very powerful combination there, and the Six of Swords, in reverse no less. With this Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands, a lot of times I see this as, I'm having trouble with, there we go. I'm still getting this whole mirrored image thing down. And of course the lighting. But anyways, with these two, what I feel when these are put together is this mother and father role. Okay, so whether that's you and someone in your life, it could be also just two different aspects of yourself, right? The feminine and masculine. Or it could be two people outside of yourself that are impactful in your life, right? So lots of different ways that this can play out, but I definitely see these as people in your story. My first instinct is that this Queen of Pentacles is you. So whether you are the female in the relationship or you just have that more nurturing way about you, and that doesn't have to be feminine, right? We tend to think of it as the more feminine aspect of us, and that's true, but you can be the manliest of men and still be very nurturing and still be that supportive, loving presence that people go to. And yeah, this King of Wands is a perfect pair, at least in my mind, for what I've seen in relationships and things like that. This King of Wands is very much a leader and, has that vision. So put together, what is that saying? You'll know the success of a man by the woman who supports him, that kind of thing. And I very much see that here. So if this is you and a romantic partner, maybe, again, with this idea that this is you, maybe you find yourself in this role where, you're having to support this person in their endeavors, right? And you're kind of naturally inclined in that position. So whether it's something that you have done before or it's brand new to you, you're really good at it. And you're kind of finding that this is a strength of yours and a gift almost. So embrace that and understand that this King of Wands, this partner of yours, there's a lot that they may need in the immediate future. And don't try to be a mind reader in that. If they come to you with specific things that you can help with, that's great. But also just ask from time to time, hey, what do you need help with? Where can I help you? Is there something that needs done today that I can do for you? That kind of thing. And also be mindful in this role that you're taking on to not neglect yourself. Don't be asking those questions if, you're on day 5 of not having more than 4 hours of sleep, not eating well, and not exercising. Make sure that you're still taking out the time that you need for yourself. So just a word of caution there. I don't know that it's necessarily needed in this sense, but maybe that was just for one person, right? Now, as far as this card, it might be a struggle that y'all are facing together. As you can see, it's kind of a family that's making their way away. And with this card in reverse, there's a few different things that can kind of come up with this card. So, I don't often say this, but I don't think I've ever said it. You might want to Google the different meanings of this card. And I'm not saying that to be silly. It's just that there are so many ways to interpret the reversal of this card that I can't possibly cover all of them, right? And I'm feeling very torn in a lot of different directions with it. So just to be respectful of everyone else's time who is watching this and my own, I try to keep these readings pretty brief. But anyways, let's dive into a few of these meanings. First, what comes through here is, this idea of carrying baggage. And we all have baggage. We all have things that we carry from our past into our futures and into these kinds of relationships. And they can certainly cause some ripples, right? So that might be an issue that either you are facing together, or it's something that, you're kind of internalizing and just keeping inside of yourself, not wanting to bother the other person with it because they are so focused in their leadership role right now. And while that's a noble thought, when you're in a relationship like that, it's really important that you don't do that. We're here to work through our problems together, right? We're not here to fight each other or to do anything like that. And certainly if that's what happens, that might be a clue that it's not the right partnership for you. But what I'm saying is, when we have these baggages coming out from the past, when we're opening them up and we're exploring them and we're trying to let them go, it can be very beneficial to have someone to work through them with. So don't be shy in doing that. Another meaning that is coming through to me on this one is an inability or a hesitance to let go. And it's definitely tied into that idea of baggage, but for whoever might need it, who's listening now, there's some things still holding on. And I hate to say this, but for maybe one of you, it's a past relationship, and it's maybe someone that you loved very deeply and it didn't end well, or maybe it did end well, and it's still just really hard to completely let go of. Maybe they pop in your mind still a lot. And it's detracting from this relationship, right? Even if it's not a former romantic partner, maybe it's just a circumstance of life that, or dreams that you had that aren't happening. And maybe they're just not meant for you in this life, and that's okay, you know. The great thing about dreams that I have found is that if we're able to let go of an old one, a new one can come in. 20 new ones can come in, right? Sometimes it's just that the reality of our situations aren't conducive to making that original dream come true. And that's okay. Because in its place, bigger and better dreams will form. Okay? You just have to be looking out for them, and you have to keep that faith that that's what will happen. Okay? So we are already quite a ways into this as far as timing. So I'm going to leave it there. Again, there's a lot of different interpretations on that. So if you're feeling like maybe those weren't it for you, don't hesitate to Google. You can check it out. And, you know, sometimes I encourage the people that I read for too to Google the cards that we had in our reading. And, you know, it's almost an accountability for the reader too, because if you have an informed person that you're reading for, you're less likely to have a reader who is going to dupe you. That accountability is important. That's what I'm getting to. So always feel free to educate yourself, but especially in this instance, if those messages aren't for you and you feel very drawn to that card, don't be bashful about going out and seeing for yourself what it means, and dive into that within yourself. It's all for your own help, right? I would never discourage you helping yourself. So let's very quickly pull an oracle card, see what we got here, and then we'll move into the extended reading. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty juicy. I really enjoy these cards that are out, and especially with that Six of Swords, there's so many ways it can go. So I'm really excited to see where that extended goes. You got two. I'm just going to read them, because why not? Usually I try to stick to one, and I know our timing is already over, but it's okay. It's all right. So the first one is, everyone is doing their best. It says, there are really only two types of people, those you now love and those you will love, until there's only one type of person, and then we'll probably hit replay. The game of life, the universe. So, interesting with what we were just talking about as far as letting a past love go. Those we now love and those we will love. We can love people and let them go. We don't have to turn it into this big, hard, bad thing. We don't have to hate them. That's not the opposite of love. We don't have to be indifferent to them. We can love them and we can let them go. The second one says, things are about to get really juicy. And look at that heart behind it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so on the back it says, a little heads up on an addiction that afflicts all really old souls. Giving love eventually becomes an even greater need than receiving love. See, you're not strange. Love the universe. And that's true. Couple things come to mind here. The more that you give love, the more you will receive love. I wholeheartedly believe that, and I feel like we have to believe that because, yeah. Anyways, the other thing that came to mind is that love is an infinite source. There's not you can't just use up your love. There's not an end to the amount of love that you can give in this life. So why not give it abundantly, right? Why not just shower everyone around you with love? That's my take on it. It's served me well so far, so I hope that helps. I hope this whole reading has been helpful to you in some way. Again, if you'd like to join me on Patreon, that's awesome. I look forward to seeing you over there. And if this is where we part ways, that's totally fine too. Either way, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon. Love you lots. Bye.